StreamYard link. Hope you're happy to join us as we are happy to deliver some boxing content to you. And we are going for Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn 2 and the undercard. But we are going to start with the main event. Mr. Neutral, how are you, sir? And what's your thoughts on the main event this time? Is it a rematch we needed or did it need?
Good evening, Jams. Good evening, people in the chat, wherever you're watching from. I see. This is the question, isn't it? Is it the rematch we all need? Not many people said we want to see a rematch. I didn't want to see a rematch because I've seen enough. But there is still interesting aspects to this rematch, which we'll go through in a minute, which may be, why it's appealing to, quite a large majority of the fans of these two gentlemen.
Yeah, well, they've been giving a lot of tickets away as Turkey Al Sheikh, so it's not. It has sold. There is rumoured to be 68,000 going to the stadium at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium tomorrow night, but they did give 2,000 tickets away to taxi drivers. Tickets have been selling for as low as £19 on resale sites. So there is a problem there that maybe the enthusiasm's not quite what it once was. It's understandable though. Eubank won a UD. It's not like it was really close. It was a war, but it was a one-sided. It was a unanimous decision. That's what a lot of people are thinking. What was the point? They called it unfinished business. Is it really unfinished business, or was the business concluded in fight one, Neutral?
It depends on the taste of the fans. The promoters have certainly got a loss for this rematch. Obviously, they're going to make some money out of it, and quite rightly so for the boxers. However, it doesn't escape the fact that this fight has still got major elements to it that will attract people. There's still the history. The fathers had a rematch, and it ended up in a draw. My personal thing, I think this will be a draw. So we're going into that. They should have a trilogy if that happens, because like most contests between rivals, one fight's never enough. If we go back to the days of Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson, Vander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis's, Andy Joshua's, more recently Usyk, one fight's not enough, and maybe this is the case here because it was close, but unanimous by only one round on all three judges. So it was close. It's close enough to warrant a rematch. However, it's one of them that you just think that, okay, then we'll put up with it, but only because you've got enough backstory, you've got enough intrigue, and you've got the statistics of history backing it as well. So, many people will be up for this fight. I mean, the more it gets nearer the time, the more, okay, then let's get pumped up for this.
Yeah, completely agree, mate. Hawkins joined us, Lee Max joined us, Joshua Heath joined us. Big up yourself, guys. Thanks for joining in the chat on our first ever live actually on YouTube without a StreamYard or a platform. So thank you so much for that. Hawkins just said, have you got a split draw or a majority draw, Neutral?
Oh, draws are draws, mate.
Yeah, who cares, isn't it? Draws are draws. Same points in the prediction league. 20 points, mate. The big 2-0.
The big 2-0, that's what I'm going to. I need the points in League 2, trust me.
That's it. And if you don't watch the Prediction League, guys, every Wednesday, 6:30 for the League One, the Gold League as it's now known, and 8:30 p.m. UK for the Silver League and League Two. Be sure to check into that. But back to this fight. We've got Chris Eubank Jr. He's 36 years of age now, Neutral. He says he still wants big fights. He still wants something special after this Conor Benn fight. We know Conor Benn, at 29, is still going to get big fights. He's a household name. Whether you love him or hate him, you talk about him. People want to know what he's up to next. He is guaranteed big fights. He's going to get some sort of barrier shot or somewhere around that region. But Chris Eubank Jr., if he loses this, is it the end of CE Jr.?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a bit of a battle of the villains going on here. I think both want to be the villain in some way or another. Chris Eubank with his egg business, and obviously Conor Benn from the drug allegations that he's the villain. But I'm seeing a softening by Chris Eubank Jr. for this fight mentally. yes, he's made weight and he's made weight well, which begs to ask the question, what was all the fuss about in the fight one? He just didn't make weight. That was it. There's no, conspiracy theory. Chris just was, a little bit off. This time he's made weight by nearly a pound.
Lighter than Ben as well.
So there is factors start to creep into the verdict here of the fight. Yes, Chris was probably better off in the technical stakes in fight one, but as Conor Benn, as you rightly said, he's in his prime now and he's improving. And improving boxers. Look at Fabio Wardley, the way he's improved. And Conor Benn has got a chance in this one. However, if Chris Eubank has got all his faculties about him, he's got the skill. He can well repeat this process the last time. However, I think the gap's closed to a draw at least for Chris Eubank. For Conor Benn to beat him, I'm not so sure. I think the chin will hold out with Chris Eubank Jr. I think he's got a good enough chin. However, I think the improvement of Conor Benn, which would undoubtedly have had to have happened coming forward to this, and he'll be driven as well for that comeback payback. Chris, I've seen these said in the press conference leading up to this week, he said there's respect there now.
Yeah,
No longer do I want to smash eggs in his face. That tells me a story. That tells me that he's content with what he's done so far. And it's that contentment that could be his undoing.
You don't think it maybe is just a bit more respect because they've shared the 12 rounds and it was a war and he fought the fort, kind of stepped up like he said he would. Yeah, he came up short, but he did rock him. You look what the damage he done, put him in hospital. I think that's the kind of mutual respect. And I think maybe the dad's got in the ear as well. No point in being too over arrogant. Show a bit of humility this time, a bit of humility. Make sure you're not overly arrogant because then when you do lose, you'll be the laughing stock. Maybe a little bit of that in play as well. You never know. But it's going to be a good fight. I'm looking forward to it. I was looking forward to it from the minute it was announced. I don't care if they fought before and it's UD, like I said, whether people need it. A lot of people are saying that, not me. I'm down for it, mate. I'm down for it.
The thing about respect each other now is Conor Benn can't give it yet. It's begrudging because of the ferocity of the rivalry. It's not just them two. This affected a generation before them. So the respect won't be there. It took years for Nigel Benn to respect Chris Eubank and vice versa. And usually with these kind of rematches or trilogies, these family rivals, that respect doesn't come until years and years later when they're old men or older to appreciate what they went through. So I don't think, maybe Chris Eubank, as I said before, he's softening mentally for me, which could be a minus. But Conor Benn is as fired up as ever for this. And that could be the tipping point.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. To be honest, I wouldn't disagree. And Chris Eubanks found out he's having twin boys this week as well, which obviously throws another little logistic into the mix. It doesn't affect the fight directly, but it could change his mindset. He's in a loving, celebratory mode. He's still celebrating from the last win. He's happy. He's jubilant. Could he let his guard slip? And that gives Conor that little edge he needs just to take him out, basically.
This is the question, and this is the fear for Team Eubank. I was watching the father and son program, and it's what struck me most about that program was Chris Eubank Senior's terror in seeing his son hurt or worse. And there was numerous occasions where he'd saying, "Don't take this. I don't want you fighting in this fight. I've lost one son. I don't want to lose another." And you can see why Chris Eubank doesn't want to have any part of that, because he says, "I'm 36, I'm in the prime of my life, blah, blah, blah," all the rest of it. We get that. But so was Michael Watson. So was Gerald McClellan.
Yeah.
and others who've who started off the boxing match in fine condition. There was
John
no
Joe Finnegan, Nick Blackwell.
Nick Black. I mean, Chris Eubank, more than anyone, should know how much of a risk this is. Yet again, to drain down to 160, he can only put on £10 until the morning. Then he can put on what he wants after that second weigh-in. But that's the structured physicality of the human body. So that not may be suitable to Chris Eubank Senior Junior again, going this kind of structure of rehydration. Could he overdrink and swell his body, his brain before the fight? That's a big possibility. And these are the reasons why the warning signs, the hackles have been going up in the back of my neck, thinking, oh, it could be a problem here. And
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a fair point, mate.
I just get a terrible feeling that if Chris Eubanks Jr. doesn't come into the fight night quite right, and it goes through another war like that, God forbid.
Yeah, it's not going to leave him in good stead, is it? Let's be honest, it's not. Just want to give a shout out to Lathan Langdale. Thank you so much for joining. His first message just said, "Big up Red Corner. Keep doing your thing. You're doing great. I see how hard you're working. Absolutely appreciate that, mate. We do work hard. We put it in every day for this channel. Thank you so much for joining." He's also added, "I believe Eubank wins on points or Conor Benn stoppage. I seen the live workouts the other day. Ben's looking very powerful." So that's a good insight there from Nathan Langdale. Thank you so much for tuning in, brother. Really is appreciated. Lee Mack says, "Let's hope both men come out safe and well." Of course, mate. That's always the main priority. Any boxing match, whether I'm with one fighter or not, you want to see them go home to their families. It's bigger than boxing. It's bigger than anything, you know. Every man is out there for our entertainment. They deserve to go home to their families in one piece. You know what I mean? We've seen it too many times where they don't. We can't keep allowing that to happen. Best boxing show on YouTube. Big up yourself, mate. Well, that's a blessing. Thank you so much, Liam MC. I really do appreciate that.
Thank you,
Final predictions for Bam Puma, boys. That's going to be coming on another show, Josh, mate. But you already know what I'm saying. But that's for another one. My final prediction, I'm going the same again. You know, I'm going UD for Chris Eubank Jr. I think he's going to be a bit more confident this time. He's made the weight better. He's going to be better hydrated. I just think he's going to do the same again, but a little bit better. So I'm going for a nice UD win for Chris Eubank. Shall we move on to the second fight, matey, of the night?
Yeah, let's do it.
So let's go to Jack Catterall versus Echo Esserman. So we've got the WBO Global welterweight title on the line. Catterall coming off that win last time out. He's only ever lost to Josh Taylor and to Arnold Barboza Jr. We've got Echo Esserman, who beat Josh Taylor last time out. He's only lost to Harry Scarf. How do you see this one going, mate? They're both in a good place in their careers. Esserman's a little bit older at 36. Well, you'd think Catterall being around much longer, you'd think he was the older man, but he's actually not. So how do you see this one going for the WBO Global welterweight title?
As far as I'm concerned, Echo Esserman is far more experienced than Jack Catterall at title championship level. He's got multiple titles. Jack Catterall's won one, and that was an interim, and he lost that. So, yeah, I think Jack Catterall's been flying high for the last couple of years off the back of Josh Taylor, and then two fights. And Echo Esserman, for me, beating Josh Taylor at welterweight was far better result than the two wins that Catterall had, or the loss and the win that he had against Josh Taylor. I know he won the first one as well, but
yeah,
the win by Esserman was far more convincing over Josh than anything Jack Catterall did.
Yeah.
So I think he's been the recipient of some good old British support. For an injustice that may have been fell upon him. But I think he's been found out since. Arnold Barboza, I was there ringside. Although, he got knocked down by Jack, overall, over the 12 rounds, it was a beatdown. It's ridiculous. And it struck me then that he could struggle moving forward, not only at 140, but up against the bigger punchers at 147. And for me, Esu Ekman is a big puncher, and I think he'll win by stoppage.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility, mate. Yeah, he's not got that many knockouts. He's only got the 8 knockouts as a man from his 22 wins. But he is that kind of guy who hits hard and keeps hitting and can force a stoppage. Like a lot of people just skate by and just get away with it. So it's going to be a good fight. Personally, I'm going for Jack Catterall. I like Catterall, I do. I know he's a little bit boring at times, but he's been training with Bozy Ennis. So that's might add a little something to his game, or do you think he's too long in the tooth to change anything really significant?
I do, because he's trained with Floyd Mayweather before. He was a sparring partner for his fighters, so he's already done that. And the Philly shell that he pulls off in his southpaw stance, he's never shook it. So I just think that he's an old dog. You just can't. He's one of them. You just can't teach new tricks. Um, yeah, and I think as it come back to, I just think that the extra power that Esserman brings is going to be a big factor for me.
Yeah. To be fair, Lee Mack says not sure Jack will change his style. No, I agree, mate. I can't see much of a change in El Gato, to be honest. But I like his style. Although people call it boring, I do enjoy watching him fight. He's one of them guys I always tune in for, win, lose, or draw. I don't know. Maybe I got a bit loyal to him after he got robbed against Taylor the first time. But like I sort of took a liking to him, and I've stayed with him since.
Before he was England, Scotland, especially in England, and the campaign that was needed to get that rematch with Josh Taylor that eventually happened 18 months later. It was built on hate, or rather than deservedness, and he got it in the end. And by that, for me, Josh was sharper then.
Yeah,
True.
definitely.
So that's why I'm not in. But Josh was, for me, I was screaming at Josh, get up to 147 when he won that, when he beat Ramirez. But he never did. He could have had that. He could have had that Crawford shot with his WBO Super Champ status, but never. Why he didn't pursue it, I'll never know. Still bugs me to this day. However, Taylor going up to 147 fought better than his last 3 fights at 140 and still lost. And that's what I see. And that's the difference. That Esserman will bring. He'll bring belligerence, non-stop forward coming. That I don't think Carroll has got the IQ for it for this kind of boxer.
Yeah, just like relentless pressure, basically, is what you're saying. He'll just be relentless. He'll just be belligerent, constantly coming forward, just overwhelming him with his shots, like he does. As you've seen against Taylor, he done it to Taylor, didn't he, with the UD win? So
He's one of them take the shots, but it'll just do Carroll's head in over the course of the fight, and for me it'll come to a stoppage. Esserman is good condition to keep the pace as well, says Joshua, and that's absolutely correct. He's got that engine, that stamina, that belligerence, that mindset that goes with it. It's a deadly combination when he's on his right day. It really is. And but what he's been guilty of before is taking his foot off the gas. Now this is another step up. He'll say it as, right, this is a name now. I've fought all real hard guys, but this is a name. So a name that's come up from 140 to 147. This will look good on Esserman's record. Josh Taylor, Jack Carroll straight afterwards. Come on.
That gets him in world title contention, like serious world title contention. And with the global title, even sweeter.
Exactly.
So it's got a lot of incentive. Lee Max just said, how many fights you doing tomorrow, lads? We'll probably do the same that we're going to cover on this show. So basically from Reactport all the way to the top, I reckon. That's usually how we do it. I was just about to say about the Harlem Eubank performance. He got the win, but was you impressed with Catterall in that, or did he look like he'd already lost a step?
He already lost that step, for me. Harlem Eubank isn't, I'm sorry to say it, he's not British, he's English level, if that.
Channel 5 guy.
Commonwealth, if he's lucky, very, very lucky.
Yeah. I agree, mate. I agree. Oh, let's move on then, mate. We'll move on to the next fight, which is the vacant British and the Commonwealth Super Welterweight title fight between Sam Gilly and Ishmael the Black Panther Davies. So, who you got on this one? What are you thinking on this one?
I can't remember what I said in prediction. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sure I said Ishmael Davis by split decision or unanimous decision, one of the two. Yeah, Davis are just, for me, he's just at level too far for Gilly, in my opinion. Gilly's done nothing wrong in his 18-1-1 resume, but Ishmael Davis has constantly been up at the top of that tree at 154. And this is a British vacant. It's not like Gilly's the champion or anything. So he's not fought, for me, this type of, level of fighter in Ishmael Davis. And again, I come back, he's fought bigger punches than Sam Gilly.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
I think he'll cruise to this.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on this one, neutral mate. Because you look at him. He's been in with Josh Kelly. His only losses: Josh Kelly, Sir High Boachuk, Kevin Ayako. They're three serious geezers right there. And you look through Sam Gilly's resume. He lost to Danny Bulls, and he drew with Onyanani, who, no offense to Onyanani, is he's a mid-level British journeyman.
Yeah.
So Sam Gilly really, really should be taken care of by the Black Panther if he's got anything left to offer.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, so that wraps that one up. Let's get to Adam Azim against Kurt Scobie. Now, this one, Scobie's tough. Scobie can bang. But if you look through his resume, it's a little thin. He was beaten by Dakota Linger in the 6th round stoppage. Don't know much about him, to be honest, but his record's not that great. Adam Azim has stopped the likes of Sergei Lipinets in the last 4 fights, O'Hara Davis, and Enoch Paulson and Petitjean. 2 of them were undefeated at the time. That's a pretty good resume for a 23-year-old. What do you think on this one, mate? Adam Super Kid Azim against Kurt Scobie.
Well, I mean, Kurt Scobie, he's only. I mean, this will be his his second fight in 10 rounds and over. This is his first championship fight in 12 rounds. However, I do believe the American system is stronger than our home system.
Oh,
so some of the names on there people won't appreciate, but I appreciate names like Cesar Villarreal and Haskell Rhodes, who he knocked out and retired, both of them, and they were not too bad. Sam Gilly, Adam Azim, that went against who was
Lipinets.
Lipinets. It looked good. It was a beating over 140 pound over them amount of rounds, but I thought Lipinets had shot. He never offered any resistance in that fight at all. He never brought the fight back to Adam Azim for me. The win against O'Hara Davis, I felt that was a great stoppage. But I come back to this is a belligerent American. He'll be hard to get rid of, and he's fired up, as you all saw in the press conference this week. He's trying to play the mental games on Adam Azim.
Well, he can pop as well.
He can pop 14 stoppages in his 18 wins. So Azim's got to be careful. Don't take this guy for granted. Do what you do best. Box and box, skip in and skip out, because this guy don't muck about with.
Yeah, I agree, neutral. I think it's going to start like a real heated battle. I think Scobie's going to go for the knockout early on, thinking that's the only way he's going to get the win. I think he'll believe he can't get the decision, so he's going to look for the early knockout. He might gas around midpoint 6 to 7, and I think Azim gets to him with a classy move, popping his head off. Ref will jump in and stop it around the 9th. That's my prediction on this one, but Scobie is tough, and he could catch Adam slipping. If Adam's not 100% focused, he could get ended here. This could ruin and derail his entire career, because Scobie is one mean puncher. I've watched about 5 or 6 of his fights recently. He can pop, and he can bang, and he's a game lad.
Right, and that's a great point that you made there. He can bang, and you're quite right. He's going to get no, let's say, love from the judges if he goes the distance. So he'll have in the back of his mind, I can't leave it to the judges. I've got to knock this lad out, and that'll propel me off his back, and he's a great name to have on his account. So he's got it all to lose himself, and in this fight, losing to Adam Azim. So he's not going to go down easy. Adam will have to have his best and most powerful, because this will be his most powerful opponent he's faced yet. So, as I said, tough fight. I expect it to go the distance. I don't think either one can knock each other out. This is a distance fight, and I think Adam Azim will nick it on the home ground.
Fair call, mate. Fair call. Just to answer Adam's question, he said, do you guys know what card the Ramos versus Shane Mosley Jr. fight is on? Yes, mate, we do. San Antonio, Texas, December the 6th. Lamont Roach against Pitbull Cruz.
There you go.
All right, mate. Right then, so let's move on from that one. Unless you've got anything else to add on that, Neutral?
No, that's that one, mate.
Okay then, pal. Let's get to Richard Riakporhe versus Tommy Welch. So we've got Richard Riakporhe 18-1-0 against the unbeaten 16-0 Tommy Welch. For me, Richard Riakporhe's been a lot more in heavier fights. He's been in more equal bouts. Tommy Welch, you look through his resume, it's very, very thin. Doesn't mean he's not good enough, because it might just mean he's not got his shot yet, and this could be his shot. But for me, I'm worried about him here. I think Welch might get took early. What's your thoughts, Neutral?
I mean, Tommy's done nothing wrong, has he? Come on, bless him.
He's not.
He's had 16 fights, 9 by way of knockout. This is the biggest name. I mean, he's had to go over Europe to make his living. European guys to make his living, at home. So the level of opposition is going to be evident here. Richard Riakporhe, I really like him. Big puncher at cruiserweight. Fought Chris Smith, lost on the UD. Maybe it wasn't his night. Maybe, he was weight trained at cruiserweight, so he's now at heavyweight. Big statement win last time out. Yeah, I expect the same here. I don't think Tommy is going to offer much resistance, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I'm with you, Neutral. I'm with you, mate. Honestly, I just think Riakporhe, he's been there, done it. He's been in them dog fights. He's took his one loss. Who did he lost to? He lost to Chris Smith, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So that's his only loss. Chris Smith's a very, very good technical fighter. I don't see anything in Tommy Welch that puts him on that kind of level. No. So I think this could go early, mate. I really do. I'm saying 4, but it could even be first or second round. But you never know. Tommy Welch could turn up and turn out to be a future superstar. You don't know till they have that acid test, and this is his acid test.
Exactly.
So that pretty much wraps it up then, brother. This is going to be a great card tomorrow night. Be sure to join me and Mr. Neutral doing all the watch-alongs. Hopefully we'll have a couple of special guests as well. This has been the first time we've been live on YouTube without a StreamYard or someone behind the scenes. So thank you so much for tuning in. Is there anything else you want to add before we go, Mr. Neutral?
Just wait for the next one. Next week we'll be back at the same time for the big Ring 4 card for next weekend with David Benavidez and Andy Yard and Heaney and Brian Norman Jr. Amongst other, Bam Rodriguez, he's back next week as well.
Pumita.
Join us next week, same time, 8 o'clock for another show here at Red Corner Boxing. Back to you, mate.
Yeah, just remember to hit that subscribe button, guys, and thank you so much for sticking with us. If I didn't get through all your comments, we apologise. We don't know how to put them on the screen on here on YouTube. I don't even know if you can. But thank you so much. God bless, and we'll see y'all soon.